So, hello everyone, and welcome to another Mirage Talk. Today we're going to have Dafna Roll Ishalom, the CEO and founder of D-Roll, talking about business potential tools and sharing some of her personal story. Dafna, thanks for joining us. I know it's been quite an evening in Israel, and I appreciate you and everybody who's joining from Israel at this time. And please go ahead.
Wonderful. First of all, thank you, Ellie, for inviting me. My name is Dafna Rolls. I'm the owner and founder of D Rolls Associate, a 17-year-old business development firm that I've established back in Boston 17 years ago. I used to live in Boston for 10 years, and I will be happy to share a little bit about myself, how I started the business. I know it's a conversation, it's not a lecture. Feel free to ask questions. Quite a few years ago, we don't have to count how many, I moved to Boston. I just got married. My husband got a very interesting job offer. We said, let's move to Boston. And I've moved to Boston, registered for a business school in Boston. And then I found myself there, and I don't know how not to work. I wanted to work, and people didn't really get my background there. They didn't really understood what I can bring to the table. When I went to different job interviews, my background was very diverse. I've studied architecture back in Israel, so it was. I probably I've come with a combination that wasn't the right fit of a resume. So I've decided that if I'm not finding the right job, I found some work, but not what I was looking for, maybe I will create my own. I'm the youngest one of four kids. I grew up in a family that all of us are entrepreneur. I don't know what my mama put in the food, but the main thing that she put, she never discussed with us about grades, about school, about anything. She mainly discussed with us and gave lots of self-confidence. And this is where the entrepreneurship came from. And I started my business in Boston. I strongly believe in the power of entrepreneur. I give lectures in many organizations about entrepreneur and about this process, but I think that this is the main tool that can be given um, in business school that everyone need to learn about the ability to open your own business, if it's in an early stage or a late stage in your career when you have enough experience and right now you want to use it and to help other businesses and so on. So with D-Rolls, I used to live in Boston, as I mentioned, and I started a business development firm. Quite rude of me, me Israeli, coming to American companies and offer them my advice about how to increase their business. My slogan was maximizing your business potential. And I just printed out brochure, went to different meetup all over the Boston area, suburbia of Boston, and created a network. And from one meetup to another, I gather another client and another. And the business has grown in the first 3 years of the business. It actually wasn't, we didn't provide the services that we provide now. But then I realized the power that you have in helping companies meet their target market. So this is a bit about how I started and few words about myself, which I probably should have said earlier. So as mentioned, I used to live in Boston. I'm back in Israel. I have three kids. I used to have three dogs. Now it's two lately. And I like reading. I like hiking and and I really like good wine in the evening. So right after the lecture, it's the time for a nice glass of wine. So I'm going to speak today about the process of business development. I'm going to share a screen with everyone. please ask me questions. It will make it even easier for me if you will be more engaged. So, as mentioned, I like hiking. This is in the desert of Israel, but I really like to hike in different parts of the world. How do we start business development? And it doesn't, the idea in business development, the idea of opening your services, to sell your product in different markets is the same work methodology applied to almost every industry and apply almost to every market that you will work in. So we start with the process of research. We will understand what we will do first. Once you have a service or a product that you want to market to new market or to maximize the opportunity in existing market, what we would like to do is first understand that we have a very strong online presence, that our LinkedIn profile is fully upgraded, that all of our marketing collateral are right on top of the messaging that they need to give. And it's not right now that you need to have a 10-page website, high-level website. You can have only one strong one-pager, but if you do it right, it's enough to start with. I'm speaking in the language of start, but it's the same as working with very well-established companies. Surprisingly enough, when we start and we come and we oversee what is the marketing collateral, not always everything is in place. So we start with understanding and making sure that we have all of the right tools in place, that we have all of the Marcom, that we have a very good CRM to put. Everyone is familiar with CRM, Customers Relations Management Program, where we can manage the process, put all of the leads there, make sure that we measure the activity. Then we want to understand what is our target market. Once we understand what is our target market, what type of companies, size of companies, location, and where do we want, who are the decision makers. Not always we know the answer once we start, but we definitely, once we start approaching our target market, on a weekly base, we need to take out the reports from the CRM and see, is the marketing director, is the decision maker who react faster? All of a sudden, we understand the IT department is the decision maker because they find the benefit in your product. So I have worked, or the head of innovation find in a big organization, find the product interesting. Very important to understand who is your decision maker, what makes him make the decision to work with you or not. We always say at D-Rolls, by the way, D-Rolls is a company where we have 52 people working. It's interesting because we always laugh that we have a very strong family atmosphere in a very virtual company. We have people who work in the company for 6, 8 years. We never met one another. It's only by Zoom, but the team is separate around the world, and everyone agree on one thing. You can only be good as your database is, meaning you can only be good as your database will give you, if it's a good database that you can approach and do the right campaigns. Today we live in a very crowded world. We live in each one of us, we open our email in the morning. We're just getting so much junk mail, and people approach us that even if something is interesting, we sometimes will miss it. We will miss the opportunity. We need to make sure that when you want to get the attention of this decision maker in that organization, you have to customize the message. And customize the message will not come by using ChatGPT, which is a great tool, or any AI tools. Those are great tools to use, but you have to give your own slang, your own approach. If you want to approach, you want to speak with a high-level doctor in the field of diabetes in Beth Israel Hospital, and you need him for your medical device startup, you need to look at his resume, at his background, and send him an email and say, I saw that recently you have published an amazing article in Nature magazine and gave a lecture at. I was very impressed and hoping to meet with you at the conference. Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I'm looking forward to speak with you. It means that you understand him, that you read about him. It can be either about the person or about the organization. So when we send email campaigns, it's very, very important that the message will be very customized to the person, to the organization. Same on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is you want to customize your approach. We all get so many messages on LinkedIn. At the end of the day, I give many lectures about lead generation over the years in many different organizations. And always people ask, they say, but I've done this and I've done this. What makes it works, Daphna? We have done it already. And I always say, do it from A to Z. Make sure that every step on the way, you're doing things right. You cannot do it all and then your LinkedIn will look like your Facebook. People will not answer you, will not work with you. It's a professional, you need to look professional. You need that your approach will be the right approach. At the end of the day, most of the meetings that we are able to set up for our different clients is coming from the cold calling process. And cold calling need to be done by high level individuals. So their roles are SDRs. SDRs stand for Sales Development Representative. Those are people that have been in the industry. Those are people who know how to speak the language, know how to go through the gatekeeper. And they're able, when they speak with Boston Scientific, with Medtronics, they're able to bring a company to meet with them and to get them engaged with them. So it's not just about opening doors, it's about not closing them. We need to make sure that the process of approaching your leads is being done in the right way, not to overwhelm them with too much information, start sending them presentations and emails full of the information. And by the way, your email shouldn't be about you, it should be about them. What is the benefit for them? You have learned about them. This is very important. So our goal is to make sure that we are doing all of this. Any questions? So as mentioned, we need to make sure that we have all of the marketing collaboration in place, that we have the strong online presence, that we have a CRM in place, and that we have understanding of the decision maker, LinkedIn upgrade, doing our email campaigns right, and that we follow up with leads. We found it over the years that we do a big effort to make sure that we bring companies to the right opportunities. We work with them on getting the right opportunities. And then at the end, they don't do enough follow up in the right way with this opportunity in order to close it into sale. And you will be surprised that there is room to improve this process. Always be prepared once you speak with a prospect. What will be the typical questions and answers that he will ask? Know how to answer them. If you mention competition, know how to answer the competition. If you mention a name of competition, why should they work with you? Events and trade shows. So, on the aspect of events and trade shows, it's very important, and many companies are investing lots of money in events and trade shows. They have the before, during, and after. And they send a team of 5, 6 people in very expensive hotels. They have a booth, they have everything. People arrive to the event. We want to make sure that once you attend an event, you arrive to the event where your calendar is full with meetings ready for you to meet with, and that you have a back office support. So if the 10 o'clock meeting didn't show up, you contact your support and they will coordinate it for you. Before you go to an event, make sure to check if there is an online network platform that you can schedule meetings from. Create a database of the people who are attending the event. Check the other exhibitors in the event. Maybe you would like to meet with them. All of the work before the event is a very, very important work. During the event, you speak with someone and you mention, I can't speak next week, I will be on a ski vacation. Put a note, he's going on a ski vacation. He lives in, make those small talks that usually when we are on Zoom meetings, we don't get to do. Those small talks is what will help with follow up because when you're back from the event, you have to have all of those notes on the CRM and to write him an email. I hope you enjoy your ski vacation and it was lovely as you describe it. Let's chat. I myself, and I didn't used to be like this, I've become like this in the last years, be more, less official. We are people talking to people. Of course, be respectful, make sure that you're doing the right approach, but always look for the personal touch that makes the difference in following up with people and communicating with people. Events is a very big thing, and it's definitely a great way to get meetings and to fill up your pipeline with warm, qualified leads. But during COVID, when people didn't travel and we didn't have conferences, it definitely wasn't an issue to overcome lack of events and to create database of people that you want to meet with them that can replace events. Um, I work with many companies that when we start working with them, we have their events planned for the year. Right now, with most of our clients, we are putting together their 2025 events plan. And we always like to start ahead of time, create database of the people that they would like to meet with. Any questions, Ellie? Okay. I hope it's a good sign.
Yes, it is.
I would like to share some examples. For example, with Ron Cohen, this was a very interesting startup. They developed a stamp that you put on the bags of the bread of, let's say, McDonald's, and the stamp will change the color according if the bread is no longer fresh. So they wanted to meet with the biggest food chain in the US. It was a young startup, they just started, and we created a database. Funny thing, we didn't know who to approach. Should it be the head of the innovation in those organizations? Should it be operation? It's also reflect finance. Interestingly enough, it's one of the very rare case studies that even when we finish working with them, in every organization, the decision maker that the reason that he wanted to meet was a different reason than the other, but we end up engaging them with Costco, Five Guys, Pizza Hut, Starbucks, and I have to say it was such a cool idea. I would use the word cool idea. So yes, we did a good job, but they had a very good idea that it was easy to present. Quasar Medical, it's a company that we're looking to meet pharmas in the US and Europe. We have done a wonderful work for them. But this is a very interesting case studies of a company that wanted meeting, let's say, with Boston Scientific, Medtronics. Those are huge organization. And when you want, you need to understand what department you want to speak with, but it's so hard to understand who in the department will make the decision. The message here and the idea is don't give up. We end up having, I believe, 40 to 50 different decision makers that we moved from one to another until we were able to secure them a meeting. And I'm very proud to say that Boston Scientific has become a client of them. But it was a process of lead generation of 3 months to get it. Kornit Digital is a printing company in the fabric industry. They wanted meetings with the biggest retail in the US and Europe. And again, it's to go above the noise. If you want to bring the biggest retail to a company, a very good company with a very strong name, but still you need to go above the noise and hear the customized messages to the decision makers. This is what made the change. Luminate, we approach banks, a different style of approach, communicating by emails a lot. Many medical device companies, you find that approaching medical device companies, working with doctors, clinics, hospitals is a completely different world. And by the way, our SDRs that know how to go through enterprise companies and banks usually won't be the right SDRs to work on with the field of medical device and health. It's a different style of people. It's a softer approach needed. So it's very interesting.
Dafna,
Um,
do you make a customized speech for the SDRs per the market, the research that you're doing per company?
Always. It's always needed to make a customized pitch. You always need to learn about the company to know how to present them and to know how to do the right pitch. So definitely. Thank you for asking because the idea of learning about the company and doing the right work is very important. Customize your message, knowing how to answer, knowing your industry competition, and so on. My message going back to where I started by saying believe in yourself, believe in the process, make it work. It's a numbers game. And when you make sure that you have your target market research right and you're doing the right approach and you're doing X amount of approaches, you will find out the right way to get the right leads and the business will come in. Throughout COVID, I gave many lectures about it, and it was beautiful to see how people that were, due to the situation, lack of confidence, started to see a very good way of working. So I will be happy to answer any questions. If anyone have any questions or anything that is needed.
Do you have, Daphne, maybe a story that illustrate the hardest obstacle you came through resistance, right? Because we all get cold calls and we hate them, right? They're always trying to sell us something and you know, very frequently we don't let the guy on the other side even, you know, try to express the pitch. So you know, what's the secret of penetrating that? I know that right, you mentioned persistence, and that's very important. But there must be, you know, a few other items that help you overcome that.
So first of all, never speak about yourself. Nobody cares about what you're selling, what you're doing. Speak about them. Speak about the benefit that they will get by engaging with you, speaking with you. Learn about them. And the idea is First of all, in many companies, you will end up speaking with the gatekeeper, the office manager, or the secretary of this executive. Don't see her as a gatekeeper. Speak with her. Tell her how is the weather? How did you survive the snowstorm? Did the Celtics won? Those type of conversation. Engage with her. She's not a gatekeeper. She is the person that will either make it work for you or not. So don't see gatekeepers as gatekeepers. Customize your message and always look online. Check online news about this company and say, recently you have done XYZ. I saw that you opened another branch I was very excited to read about you. And sometimes let them feel that they're expecting your calls. Let them feel that you're not coming out of the blue, that they're expecting your approach and that they're looking forward to engage with you. You need to have lots of confidence, and it's very important to know that usually salespeople are not necessarily should do inside sales, and it's a very important message for business owners. Business owners always expect their salespeople to do cold calling. Salespeople are very outgoing people, they are not good to sit on the phone. There is a huge difference between a salesperson and an inside salesperson, and it's different skills. And once you ask someone in your team to do this type of work, make sure he's right for the job. So you don't end up exhausting your salesperson from doing what he needs. Okay, so I hope I gave enough information. I'm always available to answer any questions, and if anyone have any questions that is needed.
No more questions to Dafna?
I will be happy to answer if anyone have any questions later on. You can contact me and I will be happy to answer. And I really appreciate Ellie the opportunity. And always good to have a call, and always love to get emails after a lecture and to say we have tried it, it was successful. So push for your results and you will see them coming. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dafna, on behalf of Paul Mirage and the entire Mirage tribe. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week on the next Mirage Talk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Dafna. Thank you.